Facebook's parent company Meta's value plunges more than $80 billion as its stock tanks over 25%. But just why has this happened? Time to find out. Time to get focused.
Time to get focused with Focus on Investing.
Welcome to Focus on Investing, where we give you all of the latest trending information on stocks, cryptocurrencies, forex pairs, and commodities so that you can successfully invest your money. If you want to become part of the community that is way ahead of the cost of living crisis, then go to focusoninvesting.io. All right, today we're going to be looking at Meta or Facebook, depending on how you want to look at it, and exactly why they have tanked. And then later on, we're going to look a bit more about, what this has done to Mark Zuckerberg, old Zucky baby. And then also we're going to look at Meta's price movement on the charts and do some technical analysis about the company. All right, without further ado, let's get this proceeding this evening. All right, this is an article from bbc.co.uk. All of the articles that we cover today will be in the description, so you can look at and read them in more detail. All right, BBC News says Meta shares in Facebook owner dive 20% as investors lose faith. It says shares in Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, have plunged more than 20% after a downbeat set of results from the tech giant. It comes as investors' doubts about Mark Zuckerberg's vision for the future grow and revenues and profits decline. Meta sales shrank by 4% in the 3 months ending in September to $27.7 billion, which is 24 billion pounds, while profits halved. The fall in shares is set to wipe 78 billion off the firm's market value if the losses hold until the end of Thursday. So essentially what this first paragraph is saying is that, investors aren't so sure about Mark Zuckerberg's vision for the future, and, Facebook changed its parent company name to Meta because it's trying to build this metaverse thing. So what they're saying is that investors aren't too sure or ain't too confident in Mark Zuckerberg's vision for this future. So what's gone wrong? A year ago, Mark Zuckerberg declared virtual reality the next frontier to drive Facebook's growth, as we just said. But so far, there has been very little of it. The company, which also owns WhatsApp, is struggling as companies cut advertising budgets in the face of economic uncertainty. Changes to Apple's privacy settings hurt its targeted ads, and competition from rivals such as TikTok heats up. Mr. Zuckerberg, who founded Facebook at university almost 2 decades ago, acknowledged the firm faced near-term challenges. So again, as we were saying, Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook have gone all in on this whole metaverse idea, but yet there's very little of it to show. There has been very little of it, right? So, and then investors are like, we're not too sure about this. We're not seeing so much of it. So because of that, the investors are kind of pulling back a bit, and this is what is causing uncertainty and a decline in, Facebook's overall stock and its share price. All right, let's look a bit more into this whole situation with the metaverse. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button. We look at this. Here we go. It says Meta's Metaverse division reports 3.67 billion quarterly loss. 3.67 billion lost in one quarter. Meta's overall third quarter losses are 600 million more than expected. Damn. Ain't no small change. So it says here, Meta revealed that its Reality Labs Metaverse division lost over 3.6 billion in the third quarter of 2022, compared to 2.63 billion at the same time last year. This year continues to be challenging for Meta's metaverse ambitions. In Q2 2022, the project lost a reported $2.8 billion. According to the quarterly report, Meta's Reality Labs has lost over 9.43 billion year to date. It said, we do anticipate that Reality Labs operating losses in 2023 will grow significantly year over year the report said. Beyond 2023, we expect Pace Reality Labs investments such that we can achieve our goal of growing overall company operating income in the long run. And again, you guys can go on and read further more into this article. But wow, as one division of a company lost 3.67 billion in one quarter. That just shows you how much money that these companies have. I mean, we know that Meta is going all in on this metaverse idea, and they're gambling big time. But I think personally, Facebook is on the decline. It has been declining for quite some time now. It's going in the way of Facebook and all of the other ones. If you remember the Bebo and Face Pick and Face Party, I think there was a million and one of these different little social networks, and eventually they just died off over time. And I think Facebook is seeing itself going through the same similar situation, so they're trying to get ahead of the next big wave, or what they're banking on the next big wave, or what they're trying to create as the next big wave. They say don't predict the future, create the future. So I think they're trying to create the future of this metaverse, and it's definitely costing them a lot of money to do so. So for backers or enthusiasts of Meta, they're hoping that the gamble does pay off. All right, so what has all of this done for Mark Zuckerberg? Before we go into what it does for Mark Zuckerberg, let's take a look at this quick Financial Times article. This is going a bit more into the value of them plunging. So it says Meta's value plunges more than $80 billion amid falling sales and rising costs. So it says Facebook's parent company earnings add to gloom surrounding big tech as advertisers pull back. And said investors wiped more than 80 billion from Meta's market capitalization on Thursday after the Facebook owner reported another quarter of declining revenues and failed to convince investors that big bets on the metaverse and artificial intelligence were paying off. As we said, it's this whole confidence by investors. It's the investors that Facebook are failing to convince this metaverse idea is working. And, generally, if you've been following this whole metaverse thing, yeah, it's interesting, but a lot of people are struggling to see what the use cases of it are. It says shares in Meta dropped more than 20% when markets opened in New York as the world's largest social media platform joined other big tech groups in warning that an economic slowdown was hammering its advertising business as brands spend less on marketing. And again, you can read more about this article in the description. So good old Zucks, or Zucky baby. Let's look at what this has done to him. It said Mark Zuckerberg's wealth wipeout hits 100 billion as Meta misses again. 100 billion wipeout for Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg's fortune plunged 11 billion after his Meta Platform Inc. reported the second straight quarter of disappointing earnings, bringing his total wealth loss to more than 100 billion in just 13 months. Zuckerberg, 38, now has a net worth of over 38.1 billion, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, a stunning fall from a peak of 142 billion in September 2021. While many of the world's richest people have seen their fortunes tumble this year, Meta's chief executive officer has seen the single biggest hit amongst those on the wealth list. So imagine that he went from, what did I say? It plunged 11 billion. He went from 142 billion to 38.1 billion. So right now, Zuckerberg is living in poverty. Let's give a moment of silence for Mark Zuckerberg. Let's our hearts and our sympathy. Let's light a candle for the man that only has 38.1 billion. Yep, we know that Zucks is struggling right now. So if somebody in the comment section could get a GoFundMe going for old Zucky baby, so that he can, avoid this cost of living crisis like the rest of us, you know. But yeah, he took a big hit, from this little, gamble that he's paid off in the metaverse. But no doubt, if it does pay off, I know that he'll be, sitting very pretty, and he won't be having to, eating ramen noodles like the rest of us on his meager $38.1 billion net worth, All right, enough of this news. Let's get into some of the technical analysis and analyze, Facebook or Meta's price movement on the charts. Again, if you guys haven't done so, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon in order to keep up to date with all of the latest information. We release these videos as soon as we record them. So you know that if you're watching this video and you've received a notification, that all the information that you've received in this video is still very much relevant. All right, so this is Meta Inc. or Meta Platforms Inc. Excuse me, ticker symbol META. I'm just here looking at the daily time frame. We can zoom out. But let's get a wider perspective. Let's start from the monthly time frame and come down. We won't do a full analysis on Meta, but just more of the relevant information. But for those who need to know, their initial public offering into the market was in May 2012. But we're going to focus more on recent times. And we can see here that, their all-time high was in September 2021. So again, not too bad, quite recently, actually. Let me zoom out to make sure that's correct. Yeah. Surprisingly, 2021. I guess it's everybody being stuck in from the pandemic. Maybe people are just more on social media, and that's caused a boost in price. So we can see that price reached a high of around $384.28. And since then, it's been all downhill for Meta. We can see this tank in price. It's been quite steady, tank a level off, tank a bit of a level off, tank and a bit of a level off. You can see. So if we zoom out, we're seeing lows of prices similar to 2015. So we've never been this low in price since 2015. If we go to the weekly time frame, we see that our trend filter is red. And it just gives us more detail of the decline in price. And again, because it's been, down and leveling, this has caused a lot of pivot support and resistance levels that is creating above price. So these are all going to act as issues or problems when price tries to recover. If we look at prices trading below the 200 simple moving average and the 50 simple moving average here, let me move this arrow up a bit so you can see a bit better. There we go. We can see price trading below. Not only we have two pivot and resistance level, support and resistance levels here, but we have a line here which is looking like it's becoming quite a strong line with a pivot level, the 200 simple moving average and 50 simple moving average, all within a similar area. But again, we're looking at our trend filter, and our trend filter is red, indicating bearish trend movement. If we go to our daily time frame, this one should be the most telling. Let's go to our most recent bar. And then here we can see. And at first it doesn't look too bad until you notice where actual price is. Price is not here. Price is actually down here, all the way down here is where we're looking at price movement. So, not price is not just down, but it's down. Right. So Facebook is down. We can see that, price has been slowly trickling on its way down. Again, if we're looking at our trend filter, we can see that you know, price has been taking quite a bit of a hit all the way since, what am I going to say, a while ago. I mean, the last time it was kind of greenish was in this sort of area of, you know, June 2021. And then as soon as we hit, you know, February 2022, we see this massive gap here in price. Price is actually gapped down massively here. If you look here, this is kind of like the initiation of the massive tanking of the stock, right? We do see a bit of downward movement here, but it's not too drastic. It's when we get to this gap down is when it's kind of initiated and signaled the price movement being down. So we see that the price is gap down and then slowly it's trickling downwards. We zoom in, we see this slight downward decline. And you know, the good indication of this is the 200 simple moving average. This is more clearly like shows us the slope and the decline of price over time. Remember, the moving averages gives us the average, you know, price value over a certain amount of days. So the 200 simple moving average would be over the average price value over 200 days, right? And then we can see that slowly the average value of price is going slowly and slowly down. So we're seeing coming all the way down, very bearish. We're seeing a bearish market happening right now. And then it's not till, if we zoom in a bit more, not only do we see a bearish price movement, we're also seeing a massive dip right here. All right, so it's the dips that is really what is concerning, right? We're seeing massive dip, and even here we've seen gaps, but here we saw a dip down and then we see a gap back up, another gap back down, another gap down. It's the gaps down that are really quite worrying in price. That's showing you massive price movement when the market is not open. So let's give this a better look in bigger detail. We can see if we look at our percentage, we can see that we're down 24% for the day. We're down 5.59% yesterday, 24.47%, sorry, 67% for the week, and 27.82% for the month. If we bring up our percentage up and down calculator, we can see that we're down 72.32% off of our high, which was $353.83. And our current price point is $97.94. Right. And if we take our ruler, we can calculate the exact movements of price. So let's do this. We'll take it from, as it was a bearish candle, we'll take it from the bottom of close yesterday and then to current price now. And again, we're looking at about 24% dip. If we go to the lowest that it went today, we can say it's 25.65%. So, you know, a dip of over 25% in just one day. To remove our indicator, we can see again the trend filter is red, and this is again is correlating with the weekly time frame as well. So we have the weekly trend filter that is red and a daily trend filter that is red, which is really confirming that we're having bearish price movement or bearish trend on Facebook stock. So Facebook's, you know, stock is really on its way down. It's going down. We can see that. All right, so that we can see that price is also trending below the moving averages. We can see that price trading below the 20 simple moving average, the 50 simple moving average, and the 200 simple moving average. We can also see that price is trending below the two pivot support and resistance levels. So we've got a red one here and a green one here. And price was generally traveling in this sort of channel. Let's highlight this channel that price was trading in between. Let's take it from about here. We can see that there was this little channel here that price was bouncing in between from. And again, this is highlighted by our pivot support and resistance levels, acting as a little channel for price as price bounces off the support level, the resistance level, the support level, the resistance level. We see it bouncing through this little channel, and price is pretty much stable in this small little channel. Again, we see this another pivot support and resistance level in the middle, acting as a significant, magnet for price. We also see the way that the 20 simple moving average and the 50 simple moving average were trading in between this channel that also kept price in between that. And then if we're looking at the 200 simple moving average, it's almost like it's touching down like a plane in between this little channel, right? But then afterwards, you see when we get to the date of the 14th of September, we can see that price actually breaks out from this channel and heads downtown. We see that price ends up breaking through this channel, heading all the way down, steadily, down slowly but surely, but still steadily until we get to today. And then when we look at today, if we zoom in, we can see a definite certified gap down of price. Take it from the close of yesterday to today, we can see this big gap down. Let's bring it larger so it's a bit easier to see. See this massive gap down in price. Let me remove this. And it's such a gap down, you almost don't even notice that prices gap down this far. So if we zoom out again and look at, is there anything, see, because it's such a low price that we haven't been in such a long time, there is no real, significant levels in recent times for us to say that price can aim for or to target from. It's kind of a bit of a free-for-all at the moment, If we have to go again, we have to zoom all the way back out to this sort of time frame. And yeah, I guess this was quite a significant level here. If we're looking at some of the pivot support and resistance levels, maybe a level here. Draw this one in, we have a green level here. Probably the closest levels around current price. But again, we're going so back to 2015. So, nothing too strong, I would say. So let's bring price, refresh the screen again and bring price a bit closer. So if we look closer, we're basically trading around that first line, and the next line is down here at the $89 level. But again, these price points are so far away in terms of price. How relevant are they? How strong will they be? We might just be looking at a situation where in a bit of free fall for Meta, and there's nothing around it that's really going to bring it back up. So let's keep our eyes peeled on this and see what the next day brings. We know that today is definitely not a bullish day, and it's definitely a day where the bears win.
It's good, and the Bears win it.
So let's keep our eye out for tomorrow and see if there's a recovery in this price or price is going to continue on its downward spiral. Again, guys, if you are serious about getting involved in trading and becoming a successful trader and avoiding this cost of living crisis, then go to focusoninvesting.io. There you're going to learn all of the skills to be a successful trader. If you want to learn more about, in-depth reviews on trending stocks, commodities, cryptocurrencies, or forex pairs, then check out this video on screen. Or if you would like to see a weekly roundup of all of the latest cryptocurrencies, stocks, forex, and commodities, then check out this video here on the left. All right, guys, thank you for joining me and take care. Peace.